Okay. Bitch, do it scared. Do it when you think it's fucked up. Just fucking do it. Start reading, bitch. You have notes. Okay. I don't know how long this is going to be, nor do I know how long any of these are going to be. But right now, I have some stuff to say. There's some shit I want to say that I needed to hear myself recently. And that I needed to hear this because I feel like I'm kind of stuck. Almost like spiritually, I guess? Like in my manifestations. And I think I needed to hear it that it's not my fault and it's a punishment, but it's that I have to realize that every time you succeed in something, you are your own final boss. That you are the last step to achieving everything. Because you think the last step is winning, but now you have to believe in yourself that you deserved it and that you always deserved it. So you don't have imposter syndrome because it was always yours in the first place. You always had divine rightness to happiness and love and acceptance and just existing as a human being on this planet. And that you were in control of your own life and destiny and whatever the fuck you want to do. Whatever you want to manifest is possible. And I believe that with every bit of my heart. Um, I've had random things pop up lately that made me believe that, like, maybe I do need to say this out loud because other people might need to hear it too. But I also keep having Archangel Michael come up in any sort of readings that I have done, or even just looking up videos about specific, like, ways to get rid of fraud syndrome, but also manifest at the same time and not have that negativity fuck up your progress. Because I know I deserve it, and I know that I deserve every good thing in this world, but my imposter syndrome can suck dick in hell. Because my imposter syndrome is the one that will tell you, no, you don't. Why do you think you could just do this overnight and people will listen to you? I have to be everybody, any person that manifests, you have to be delusional in your belief that it will work out. Because if you try to believe that there could be something wrong, then you are staying in this timeline and your manifestations won't happen. You have to have the mindset that it already exists, that you already are abundance and that you already are wealth and you already are prosperity and you're all of the abundant things that you want in your life. You have to believe it yourself first. And it's going to take time because I feel like I had to do it for like a fucking year. And I felt like I was lying to myself. But then slowly things started to change. And I realized maybe I'm not lying to myself, but maybe that I can do this and that actually I know I can do this. I'm the only one in my way. That the world is my fucking oyster. And I'm the goddamn asshole with the shits, the thing that cracks those heifers and seafood places. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, anyway. But you know what I mean. I'm the only one in my way. Because if you delusionally believe in your manifestation that it will work and it is something that you truly want that is in the best interest for you, your highest power, your higher power, highest power, and your higher self, any of that. If it's good for you and it's good for your soul and it's good for your higher power, then it is a manifestation that will work. Because nothing that is meant for you will pass you. I always thought that sounded like some spiritual woo-woo jargon, but let me tell you, bitch, if it is meant for you, it will happen for you. You cannot miss a manifestation or a life path that is meant for you. I promise. I started this journey in, was it, 2020, late 2019, 2020. Actually, literally right before COVID hit. I started keeping a notebook of seeing all the little angel numbers and little synchronicities I would see going around. And then after a while, I kind of just like fell off of it a little bit. But I always said how I wanted to have a podcast or I wanted to have some form of way to connect with the public and to tell them the things that I think sometimes other people are afraid to say or afraid to believe in or afraid to have faith within themselves to do because I was sent here to do that. I know that for a fact that I'm sent here to help others fix their shit, but in my way. Because I'm not all love and light, and there's actually a really cool Peachka song out now that says love and light is for beginners, and I very much believe that. But I also walk both paths. I'm light and dark. I've had some crazy fucked up shit happen to me since a kid, where there's multiple times where I shouldn't have survived, but I did. So there's a reason I'm still here, and there's a reason I'm on my 6th or 7th life. And I'm grateful and that every time those things happen, something else unfolds and I understand more of why I'm still here. That I'm here to not only break ancestral trauma and generational trauma for myself, but I'm here to help others do it as well. Because if I can do it, I know you motherfuckers can do it because I was never the one that believed that shit. I hated that. If I can do it, you can do it. Bullshit. Bitch, what the fuck I can't? Not everybody has the same setup you have. Not everybody has the same privileges you have. Not everybody has the same things that you have access to that other people can't. But that's the mindset that will never have it work. I'm a very much firm believer, like I'm pretty, if I could speak English, I'm a firm believer that your craft and spirituality doesn't need to cost a fucking penny. That the gods hear you no matter if you light a candle or you whisper to the wind. It doesn't matter if you have an altar or if you just have an eggshell that you like to whisper your bad fucking thoughts into that are negative to yourself so you can give that to the gods as an offering. Because I know for me specifically, Lilith, Hecate, and Ganesh, and even Kali, all of them, you can use your shitty mindset or how you're talking about yourself. Give the negativity as an offering and alchemize it into power and strength. It sounds fucking crazy, but I'm telling you, it fucking works because I did it. There is nothing you can say to me that will change my mind. I'm not destined for greatness and wealth, health, abundance, and prosperity, every aspect of my life, because this is what I was meant here to do. Because it's all of our divine rights to be happy, healthy, wealthy, and prosperous, and anything that we want to do in life. And that it's possible as long as we believe it is. The second you believe that something is not possible is the moment it becomes not possible for you. You have to be fucking delusional in this, or it will not fucking work. I need you to start to think that you're actually possibly going crazy because you're not seeing the movement around you, but you need to start the movement within. The storm tornado of you picking up your life has to start the cyclone within you first. And then like a magnet, everything will attract to you. And I promise you, it'll work. Right now, me personally, I honestly do feel like I'm on the cusp of something huge. And I am so excited for it. And I don't know what that is going to be. And I don't know if it's going to be monetary wealth or if it's going to be my reach and being able to reach people more, or if it's just going to be a happily abundant life. And then I get to finally enjoy life, but I know it's coming soon. I can feel it. Everything that Spirit has told me in the past year and a half, I know it is coming. But this journey really did start about 7 years ago. Actually, almost 8 years ago now, because 'cause I'll be 38 in a month and a half. But this started because I could not live the way I was any longer and feel any sort of positive emotion. I was miserable all the time, every day, and that even wasn't just from mental illness, that was just because my mindset gave up. That this is it, that I'm going to work at a gas station for the rest of my life, be mistreated by management because I'm different. I've always been different my whole life. I've always been the weirdo or the outspoken kid or the kid that has too much to say, and it turned me shy, and I turned that off for a really, really long time, and I just became silent for too many years as a kid, and I didn't get my voice back, even started to get my voice back until my middle 20s. I don't feel like I actually got my voice back. That felt like it was mine and that nobody else could take it from me until I was, like, 30, 31. And for everybody that thinks that it can never happen for them or it's too late, I promise you I am almost 40 years old, and the feeling that I have and trust in myself and my judgment and my intuition, because I know my intuition is never wrong, because it's never failed me since childhood. I know for a fact that I can depend on that always now. And that not everything will always be negative, and if even if something is negative, I will always find a way to alchemize that into something that will benefit me, whether it is health, wealth, or prosperity in any aspect of my life. That there is nothing that somebody could do that I can't realchemize, or my spirit guides or ancestors or team like that can't handle for me. Because I know for a fact that I am divinely protected and highly favored by my ancestors, my spirit team, and any gods or goddesses that I pray to. I know that they are around because I feel them. And it is something that I can't explain to somebody else how I feel them, but I know that they're there. Like, I know it without a shadow of a doubt, with every fiber in my body, I know that I'm protected and watched. And it was solidified in stone the night of my car accident when I was 33 years old. There's a lot of there's a lot of interesting numerology in my life as well, but that'll probably, I don't know, most likely they'll be in another episode because this is already 10 minutes long. But I needed to get this out because I know other people need to hear this. I know that there's other people that need to hear this right now because they're ready to give up, because it's we're so close, it's right there. Like, when everybody tells you it's right around the corner, it's so close, that is when you wanna give up the most. That is when you are one step away from giving up, and the next shitty thing, you're like, "Fuck it, I'm done." Because I've done it so many times in my life where I've given up on myself, and looking back on it, I deserved so much more. But I didn't have anybody to tell me that. I didn't have anybody to tell me that anything that I wanna do in my life, in my dreams, spiritually, whatever it is, whatever I wanna manifest is possible, and that I became my own strength. There's a quote that, I heard on TikTok by a woman. She said, "You can't break confidence that wasn't made by being pretty. That your confidence doesn't come from your looks, that you can't break a confident person." I was always the third wheel friend, or the friend that was chronically single. No boys like me. I don't even know if girls like me. At the time, I didn't even know if I just like guys, or I'm not entirely sure, but I know now as a 37-year-old, I am a pansexual adult. I understand that. But as a child and as a teenager, I didn't know that. I just hated all the different things about myself because I didn't understand them. But as you get older, I fucking let me tell you, bitch, you will learn to love every single part of yourself the second you realize that you are exactly who you are meant to be. Even if it's not who you want to be in the future or right now, this is the starting point. You can always change your life and make yourself better, even with the littlest shit that you have. I started s English, Danielle, do you speak it? I started lighting candles and saying my own little prayers to the universe to them years ago. And over time, it's blossomed into to something so much bigger, and that I enjoy so much doing now, that it's become a part of, like, my daily life and how I do things. That I incorporate spirit and the universe and trying to do everything for my higher good or my higher self every day. And the more I started trying to live for my higher self because I know that I'm worth it and I deserve it, the more things I started to see change in my life with how people treated me, or how I felt that I needed to treat myself, or how other things affected me. Because you couldn't shit on my parade even if you had a fucking shit truck from France. Somebody will get that reference, but you know what I mean. But, like, you can't fuck up my confidence in knowing that I'm going to be the greatest person and version of myself that I can be. And it took me 7 fucking years. And when it first started, my brain always likes to my brain needs to know the ending. Because if I don't know the ending, then I don't feel safe. I had to let that go. You have to let go of the fact that not being in control of everything, it is the scariest fucking thing in the world. It is fucking terrifying to not have the answers to everything because you're not supposed to. That sometimes in the unknowing is where the knowing happens. And that sounds really fucking esoteric woo woo bullshit. But when it comes down to your real life and you stop trying to control every single situation and know that in your manifestations that they will come true and that you stay in an abundant mindset, that it has to happen, that it's guaranteed to happen. And that I don't want anybody else to ever feel as shitty as I didn't think that I couldn't go anywhere with that, that I was stuck and that this is as good as it can get at a dead end job that I was barely making ends meet, that I was fucking miserable at, that I was good at. I was known as a good worker. I have terrible ADHD and am on the autism spectrum, so my time skills were shit. I was late all the time, but there was nothing, a thing on the list of stuff that I had to get done that day that wasn't done before 10 o'clock. I worked second shift, so 2 PM to 10 PM. But if I started at 2 PM and I was done at 10 PM, even if I rolled in at 2:06, 2:07, my shit was done before 10 PM and you didn't have to check it. And because of that, I got away with that with a lot of jobs, and I'm so grateful that they did let me get away with that, because if it wasn't for my personality and being good with the general public as, like, customer service-wise and having a good work ethic, I would have been fired a long time ago. I would have been fired from every job I ever had because attendance has always been my hardest struggle for me because executive dysfunction will be the fucking death of me. I was in an executive dysfunction, I swear to fucking God, for 2 years straight. I was just moving and doing nothing, and I hated it, and I hated myself for that. But if you keep hating yourself, you'll never remember how to love yourself, and that's the hard shit that I had to learn, and that speaking into existence your life and the things that you want isn't just a manifestation, it's also confirmation that you already have it. If you live in an abundant manifestation life, you will get everything you want. So if you're trying to manifest something and and you say things like, I don't want to be poor anymore, or I don't want to have to look at price tags anymore. That's a negative way of saying it. And that's how I always went about it. You have to think of it as my bank account is always in the positive. Everything I want, I can pay for in full. Anything that I desire is mine because it has always been mine because it is my birthright. That everything that is prosperous to me will come to me because it is mine already and I deserve it. That I've always deserved it. And having to speak that into your truth is some of the hardest fucking things for people. And that was one of the hardest things for me. And that's where my fraud syndrome came in a lot because, like, well, imposter syndrome, fraud syndrome, whatever the hell you call it. I say fraud, sometimes I say imposter, but you know what I mean when I'm saying it. You feel like a fake. You feel like you're lying to yourself and you're lying to the world. And that's your ego. Spirit and your soul knows what is meant for you and what is divinely meant for you and anything you're supposed to do in your life. It's your human ego that tells you no. And that was the hardest thing for me to split and make the difference out of and understand that what my brain is telling me is not what's true. And that I could have done this so many years ago, but there's a reason why this had to happen. And I used to be really fucking bitter about that because I've had some really fucked up shit happen to me in my life. And there's times, many of times, I've said it before, where I should have died or I should have been really fucking hurt and changed for life. And the only thing that changed was just I just kept getting back up. And then I never stayed down, even when I wanted to. And I feel like it needs to be talked about more because I know there's a lot of people that feel the exact same way, and you're either ashamed or embarrassed to feel that, whether it's because of their power, their age, or whatever it is, they just feel like there's an unworthiness of it, and bitches, you are so more than worthy of it, it's already destined in your future, you just have to align with it and say, "Okay, this is for me and this is what I want," and then never take no for a fucking answer. One of my other bigger things is having to understand that not everybody is going to like me, but I will hear a lot of no's in my lifetime, and no's aren't a stop what the fuck you're doing, it's a redirection and pivot. And I'm still getting used to that because being told no fucking hurts. It feels personal. But I'm telling you, it is not. It's they don't see the vision, so they say no, or they don't think that they can do it. It is never an attack on you. It's their projection of them being too afraid to do it or them thinking they're not able to do it. So they'll shit on somebody else's dreams because they don't see the possibility. But as long as you see the possibility, nobody else fucking ideas matter. They can suck a dick from the back. It does not fucking matter what somebody else thinks about what your dreams are, as long as you follow your dreams. I've always said this, and it's kind of vulgar, but I heard it in my early 20s, and I thought it was a great idea, and it's helped me a lot. If you are not doing any of the 3 Fs, then you do not get a say in what I'm doing in my life. If you are not financing me, if you are not feeding me, or if you are not fucking me, you do not get a say in what I'm doing in my life. And even some of the Fs that are in there, you still don't get a full say. I'll let you speak, but that doesn't mean I'm going to listen to what you say. You have to be the boss of your own life. You have to be the queen of your own life. You have to be the high empress and take no shit and lead with power. Like, you just have to stand on spiritual business. And once you know it's yours, the universe has to give it to you. So speak your manifestations, like I said, as if they're already happening and as if you're already in abundance. Because if you're already in an abundance mindset, then abundance has to follow. One of my ancestral traumas is around money because my ancestors, like the ones that came to America, were poor immigrants. They either escaped and didn't want to die in the Irish potato famine. Some of them came from Italy for a better life. My grandma only had a 4th or 5th grade reading education level. She couldn't read or write. And my dad's side of the family, they were they were Norwegian, some Scottish, and something else. But they came and they ended up kind of in the like Appalachia, Northern Ohio, and then like states above that, I guess is kind of where I did a genealogy ancestry type thing years ago because I wanted to know because my family doesn't not that they don't talk about it on purpose, it's just we don't know a lot because we came from a lot of immigrants, and a lot of them didn't write things down or, like, we don't have a lot of the past. So that was one of my ways of, like, trying to make connections with blood ties, with relatives and things like that, and finding out shit like that. And now it's wild that I can see pictures of people that I never knew existed, and I can feel a connection to them because I know we share blood and ancestry. And, like, I know that kinda doesn't really have anything to deal with exactly what I'm talking about, but I feel like that's something that gives you another power up in your corner when you know that your ancestors are rooting for you, and they are so happy that you are fixing what they couldn't, and that I'm fixing it for future generations. Because I know it sounds crazy, but blood memories exist. When you hear certain music or certain, like, songs from that time period or from that nation, like, when I hear old Irish music or if I hear Norwegian cattle calling music, my whole body fills up with chills and I might start crying. It's because I'm feeling the blood memories that I can't quite recognize yet, but I know that are there. I've never once met my great-great-grandmother, but I know she's rooting for me somewhere in the Appalachia, happy as hell that I'm finally getting rid of the money trauma of never having money and just trying to survive. My main goal, besides my health and in, like, physical and mental and all that, is to break the trauma with being poor for the rest of my life. Because if you don't get out of the poor or I have no money mindset, you will never have money. You will self-sabotage yourself like I did for decades, thinking that you're not the problem, that somebody else is the problem, and you're just not getting the opportunities. If you don't live in abundance, you will never get abundance. I'm not saying max out credit cards and buy shit. I'm saying that you are aware that abundance is always around you and that you always have access to it, and that if you manifest, you can have that. Like, if you believe it that it's yours, you can make it yours, and you have to have the delusion that it will always happen. Ask any fucking person who's famous or has anything good, they will literally tell you, "Be fucking delusional." in the optimism and the outcome of that you will always come out on top because this is destined for you and this is your higher good. You have to. Let's see. I feel like there's more I have to say, but I feel like I'm also getting sidetracked. So I wrote some notes so I don't forget, but also at the same time, I kind of just end up freestyling and talking because I thought this was going to be a 10-minute video and we are at 25 minutes right now. So there's that. But I also kind of jumbled a bunch of things that I want to say already if I'm thinking it as I'm reading it right now. That there's little notes and things that I wrote of things that like that everything is working out for me and is never a loss, but always a redirection is some things I like to write down. And also that you are your own destiny and you recognize your power and the world has to listen. Like there's no other way. And that everything that you want and need is already inside of you to make because you are your own God, you are your highest ruler, you are your higher power. And the more you believe that, the more you'll start seeing positive change in your life. I always write down little notes or things or jot down little things that I think are good little like, "Oh, okay, I see you, bitch." Or things that I hear that sound positive that will help you realize maybe what you're doing is the right path or what you're doing could be a little bit better or it's not quite the right path, but you're almost there. But I wrote them down on some notepads and here's some of the ones that I like that I think that might could help people. Words, do you speak it, Danielle? Jesus. Quotes and things that I like that made me go, if I don't write this down and I forget this, I'll be mad as fuck later. Some of them are for manifestation, some of them are for love, some of them are just for life. Some of them are just for shitty scrub ass motherfuckers who you just need to know that you are the queen, they are the scrub, and you do not need a man for a goddamn thing. I promise you. Having a man is nice, but they are not a necessity. There was an old interview I remember with Cher years ago, decades ago, before I was even born. This is like in the 70s. And she was talking to an interviewer, and the interviewer was asking her about men, and she goes, "Oh, I love men. Men are just the coolest. They're the greatest." And she goes, "Well, do you ever see yourself getting married to one?" And or remarried or whatever the question was. Like, do you see yourself with another man? And she goes, "My mom always asks me when I'm going to settle down and marry a rich man." And I said, "Mom, I am the rich man. That has lived with me and it will live with me till the day I fucking die." Because she's right. She is the rich man. She has everything that the rich man has. So why do you need a rich man if you could be your own rich man? Share, share, spitting truth bombs her whole life. I mean, I'm not saying I don't know everything she's ever fucking said in her whole entire life, but I'm probably sure she's probably said some fucked up shit every now and again because we all have said fucked up shit. But I'm saying as a woman in business or anything in life that wants more, she knows what the fuck she's talking about. One of my other favorite ones, I know it's a pretty common one, but I like that if I'm too much to chew, then fucking choke. Do not lessen yourself because somebody else thinks you're too much. Just because you're too much doesn't mean that you are too much. They can go find less. That is a them problem, not a you problem. Another one. If you have people in your life that shit on all the good things that you want to do or things that make you happy, they are not the people for you because it's not bragging if the people in the room want you to succeed. It's only bragging if they don't fucking like you. So if people say you're constantly bragging or they think you're getting too big of a head, they are not the fucking people for you. Because a real friend would want the best for you no matter what that looks like. Another thing how I said that when confidence doesn't come from beauty, it's unshakable, that you can't crack a confidence that doesn't come from being pretty. And I have another tab that I wrote down. I have write them on little sticky notes. When I see them, I keep sticky notes by my laptop. So if I hear somebody say a truth bomb, I write it down. I'm like, this is fucking great. I need to remember this. It said confidence comes from data, not dopamine. So you telling me something good because you think it's gonna make me happy is not gonna keep me happy. I need data, I need numbers, I need realness. And also that the feeling that you feel when good things happen, I also didn't know when good things happen and when bad thing happens, it's the same feeling. The feeling in your stomach when it gets hot when you're, like, scared or you're nervous is also the same feeling you feel when you're happy, you're just not realizing it. Happy and fear feels the same in your stomach. So when you're fearful of something, or you think you're fearful of something, you're probably just afraid to do it because you know it will bring you happiness, if it's for your higher power and truth. Because the quote that said that I read that I was like, "Holy shit, truth bomb bananas." She said, "Because our brains are wired for survival, not success." Our brains are sent to survive are meant to survive with pattern recognition and seeing what you believe, not meant for success. We have to rewire that if we want success. But our brains will always, always come back to wiring for survival, not success. It's just something you always have to work on. I know there's other shit. Ooh, another funny little sassy one somebody said was, "Always know you are a diamond. Don't worry about scrubs who just wanna play with rocks." Boy, bye. When somebody said that, I was like, Imma need this to be etched in stone. Imma need to be put on monuments because this needs to be out more." Yeah, like, again, another third one for the confidence beauty thing. You can't humble somebody who didn't get their confidence from compliments. Repeat that again. You can't humble somebody who didn't get their confidence from compliments. Make it internal, make you your rock, and make you the boss. And remember that one bad chapter doesn't define the book. You just stayed on that page too long. When I heard somebody say that, ooh, that whipped my brain clear out of being miserable. I was like, "You're right, I just need to turn that fucking page." Another one I recently just heard that I'm gonna end this soon because 'cause I'll keep talking for forever, but never put the keys to your success and happiness in someone else's pocket. You hold those fucking keys. You always did hold those keys. You have to take your power back and pull your energy back. You are in control of your future and your alignments. And never forget the friends who left you at your weakest do not get to celebrate at your strength. I lost almost everything and everybody in my life when I went through my almost dying to metamorphosis to I need to change my life because I can't keep living the way I was because I'm fucking miserable and I hate this shit. I don't really talk to anybody anymore. I mean, there are people that I talk to occasionally now and again, like I knew from work and stuff like that, but I don't have the same people in my life that I did when I was miserable and depressed and it was hard to get out of bed. I mean, it's still hard to get out of bed, but I have a purpose now, and that helps me. Not every day, because sometimes depression is a fucking bitch and you can't control depression. I've had depression my whole life. So I don't have answers how to cure depression, but I do know how to work through it. And I'm learning every day, and sometimes it's really fucking hard and sometimes it's not. But I'm not gonna ever give up or stop trying. One, because I'm too much of a fucking menace and you're gonna have to deal with me. If I'm here for a reason, then bitch suck it up, buttercup, because I'm not fucking going anywhere. Another fun thing that I said that I read that some people have said, like, trying to prove their worthiness in your life when there is none, that if somebody has worth in your life, they don't have to prove to you their worth. Their actions prove that. And I saw this quote, "I'll give credit where credit is due, but I'm not gonna applaud a fish for swimming." Do not keep your baseline in fucking hell. Do not keep the bar set in hell. Set good expectations for yourself because not only do you deserve them, they're required. That your ancestors and your spirit guides required this for you because you always deserved it. You were always the person that deserved to be treated well. You just didn't know it. Or you didn't feel like you did for whatever reason at the time. I don't want anybody to ever second guess that they don't deserve anything good because it's the biggest fucking lie your brain and the universe will tell you. You deserve every good fucking thing that has ever happened and ever will happen to you in your life. And you can manifest all those good fucking things in your life as long as you understand. And I feel like I'm mumbling about it, but I'm having a hard time. Like, as long as you understand in your heart and soul that you deserve this, then you are unshakable with it. You could fucking do anything. That there's not a goddamn thing anybody can tell you you can't do as long as you believe that you can do what you're doing. Then nobody else has to believe your dream because your dream doesn't depend on them to believe it for it to happen. It's dependent on your actions. So if they don't believe you or they don't agree with it, that's cool. Tell them to change the channel. You work on you and you do not be afraid to ever be you. Because I know there are people that do not like me and will never like me because of how I stand on business. And I don't care. I've been that way my whole life. If you like it, if you don't like it, well, too bad. That sounds like a personal issue. I definitely stole that line from G-Eazy. But anyway, but still, be yourself and fuck the rest. If they don't like it, then tell them to go to therapy. Because people that don't like other people for being themselves hate themselves. Projection is a fucking bitch. And a lot of the times, other humans will take that as you're not good enough or something. You're always good enough. That other person said to you that you're not good enough is good enough to do it as well. But they don't believe it. So their projection onto you of why they can't do it or why they think you can't do it is what they're saying. Don't believe people that tell you you can't do it or that you won't be able to do it or that that's not right for you or you're dreaming too big. Tell them you feel bad that they dream too small. Fuck them hoes. Fuck anybody that tells you you can't be the best version of you because like I said, you better be fucking delusional in the fact that you deserve every good fucking thing in this world that has to give you and that there is nobody that could take that from you. That is your alienable, God-given, earth-given right. Doesn't matter if you believe in a God or not. That is your soul right. That is your soul right to feel happiness and love and acceptance and joy, all in your higher good for your higher purpose and your higher self. I don't always do love and light because I think love and light is for beginners, like what Peachka said. I very much believe in that things are more gray than black and white. And that it took me a really long time because of somebody with ADHD and on the autism spectrum, everything is black and white. Everything is yes or no. Everything is up or down. Everything is you like me or you don't like me. So it's a struggle every day for how my mental brain works compared to my spiritual brain. But as long as I know that I'm always supported and always divinely guided and highly favored, I can't be afraid. I'm not afraid. And I want others to feel that as well. And if you have any of those like, fuck this, I can't do this, or this is gonna be too hard, or I don't have any help, I need you to throw that right in and chuck that shit into the fuck it bucket. I need you to, yeah, just chuck it all in the fuck it bucket because you can. And as many times as you say you can't, is as many times as you won't. The second you start believing that you can and you start that abundance mindset, I'm telling you things will change. It will change around you. The energy will change around you. The vibes around you will change. You will feel more electric. I'm telling you, and people will tell you that you feel more electric when you're in a room. You change the vibes, you change the outcome, and I very much believe that. And I don't some woo-woo fuck shit. I'm talking about 10 toes to the ground. Do what you say you're going to do. Live the life you say you're going to live and love who you are because fuck anybody else that tells you that you're not lovable. Tell them to go to therapy. Because if they really didn't like themselves, then they shouldn't came out of the house that day and make it the world's problem. I promise. I love you. We all have this. This song, god damn it. This video is 39 fucking minutes long. And I don't care. Because I needed to say what I said. I know somebody needs to hear this. And I made it so it's not a video. So you can listen to this in your headphones while you're doing your housework, while you're doing shit, while you're in the car. You don't need to see what I'm saying to feel and believe what I'm saying. And I 100% believe that with my whole heart and soul. And to quote my nephew, with all my hearts and farts, I love it and I believe it. And I hope you too. I want you to believe that you have the biggest dick in the room, that you have big dick energy for the rest of your life, and that you live your life with the confidence of a mediocre white man. Okay? I love you guys. Hopefully, I'll talk to you soon. Peace out, bitches.